Hi, everybody. Michael Caraccio here with another episode of Just My Honest Opinion. Today is Thursday, October 3rd. I know I haven't um, posted any videos for a little over a week now. Uh, got tied up on a few things. Uh, just wanted to give before I start anything and stuff, a shout out to everybody down in the southeast who got, hit by Hurricane Helene. Uh, I hope everybody out there is well. I know it. I think as of today, the body count is is up to 200. That is very sad. I mean, I have family and very close friends that lived in the path, um, or at least were affected somewhat. But as of today, as far as I know, uh, all those people have checked in and are doing well, which I'm very grateful and thank God for. I do want to say to all of those who may have lost someone or is having, trouble down there because of the storm and stuff, I'm sure a lot of people, our thoughts and prayers are with you, and hope that your recovery is quick and thorough. Um, so okay, gonna definitely put off, um, um, start off with, of course, my asking that if I appreciate you tuning in for my videos and such, if you would be so kind as to get out to Rumble to follow me out there. All of these episodes. This is my 10th video. Um, I'm hoping uh, if traffic picks up, I mean, I've been getting a lot of views, but not a lot of followers, so I could really use the followers. All right. Uh, but I'm hoping to still do some of the videos and such, but, maybe incorporate some podcasting, either on a monthly or a bi-weekly uh, manner. So you have my URL for Rumble up there. If I do get enough followers, Rumble will allow me to customize that URL a little better, so it's not as clunky as it is. That's the one they gave me. That's the one I'm using for now. So hopefully I'll be able to change it with your help out there. Um, I also, you can always leave any comments if you agree, disagree, have something that maybe I misspoke on that you might want to correct, or any questions and stuff. Please comment on there. I'll get a notification. But if you do want to, a little more direct towards me, any questions or such, there's my email address, mjcgemini@verizon.net. And I just ask that you put JMHO in the subject line so my filter on my email can do its work, and make sure that your email gets flagged and my attention can be brought to it, because I don't want to be, miss anybody's uh, correspondence and such. So that's the reason why I have that out there. So again, if you have any, maybe even a topic or a question and such that you maybe want me to do a video on and such, that would be the best route to take, and I can help you out. Back to me. All right. Yeah, I am a one-man studio here. Um, I was contemplating over the week or so, while I was doing my other things, on exactly what was I planning on using as a topic for this episode and such. And actually, an interaction occurred on social media. It was a political of nature, of course. Um, with the presidential election a little over a month away, I think it's 33, 35 days, something like that. 30, yeah. um, of course, there's a lot of political things out there. I know I post a lot of political satire and, sometimes some issues and such up on the internet. To start off with, uh, I do kind of, roll through based on what's on my feed. It's primary, Facebook is one of the platforms that I do roam through and pretty much stay active on. But I see some of the things that are being, thrown out there and such by people that are, pro one side or pro the other. Um, and it's just one of the key things that I always end up seeing and such is that, some folks, and I've gotten involved in it. So I'm going to explain that. The fact that, somebody would post something anti the other side. That's what I'll do, do that. I am more of a Trump supporter, I guess you would call me. I'm not a Republican. I'm not registered as a Republican. It's just, I think I've mentioned it a time or two in previous videos. I do consider myself an independent. I am registered as a undeclared, but I do lean towards conservative Republican views. I also have mentioned that I have a sprinkling of libertarianism, wanting to have smaller government in our lives. I believe in that. So I wouldn't call myself by a long shot a true libertarian, but I am very, very how would I put it? Dedicated to, very much want to have the country in line with our Constitution as written. Um, I don't really think there should be interpretation based on beliefs. I mean, I think that the Constitution is a pretty solid document in and of itself. Um, I do believe in our republic. I do feel, and again, this is just my verbiage and such. We are a republic that uses the democratic process of majority votes on who runs our country. But overall, it's we the people who run the country. We put the people in place to go forward with our beliefs and such of uh, the direction of the United States. Sometimes we've hit the nail on the head and doing great. Sometimes we've blown it. Personally, Biden was a blow it. But I think I'm going to save that for another video to get more in depth in that. Primarily, what I'm speaking to is with political postings and such. Sometimes somebody would post something that I would take, and from my point of view and from my knowledge and such, because I do, I look at the news. Believe it or not, I do watch CNN at times. I watch Fox News. I watch Newsmax. I do admit I stay away from MSNBC completely for, I think that would be obvious reasons. If you want to know, chat me or something, send me a comment, send me an email asking why, and I'll probably address it to you directly or I'll do a video. But basically, I try to keep on both, not so much the topics, but how the view of each side is and how they're, I'll say, translating it. I liked how news used to be. I would have to say 30, 40 maybe years ago. My opinion of the news and stuff was a little more direct and fact-based. They really worked to get the facts to people. I'm not going to say I am naive to know that sometimes there was manipulation. But it's really gotten to, I don't think there is news anymore. I think everything is, here's the story and let's give you our opinion. And it depends on whose channel you're on and stuff is the opinion you're going to get. I'm not oblivious to that. I know that happens. I try to sort through a lot of the opinion as much as I can to try to see and do my best to try to get the actual answers or as close to the truth as I can on my own. I mean, it's not always easy, but kind of piece together the story myself with facts that are agreed upon across the board. So somebody posts something that I feel is politically out of line in a sense, or just a flagrant type of propaganda is the only thing. I'm not going to say that the person is posting something on purpose to lie, but I've definitely noticed there are a lot of people who believe what's posted out there, and whatever's thrown up on the internet, they just throw it up or whatever and such, and people go, oh yeah, that's the truth. And I'm not a person that feels that like that. I mean, again, I think I have a pretty good idea and stuff between what's satire and what is propaganda. When something is posted, um, uh, that is purposefully uh, has been debunked, has been proven to be false, but it's still being posted. It's propaganda. Um, I believe it was Goebbels who, served under Hitler, said, the bigger the lie and the more times you repeat it and stuff, the more people will believe it. Um, I don't think that I am a fact checker or the truth police, but there is a certain level of responsibility that I try to do um, with my posts that I wish people would exercise more often. It goes along the lines of thinking before you speak, um, which is what I try to do. Not saying that I'm not that I'm infallible. I do make mistakes. I do make incorrect calls. But my basic thing is that I try to keep such an open mind and stuff that, if I do make a mistake or I post something that's incorrect and somebody wants to correct me, I'm open to it, believe it or not. I mean, I think, if somebody was to go through my Facebook right now and stuff and find different posts and stuff, I've had back and forth, but there are times and stuff that I went, my bad, I'm out. Like I was wrong. I misread or I didn't have that much information, and I think a lot of people need to from what I can see out there, it's okay to say I was wrong because even if it's a thing of, look, I had this amount of facts. It's I don't want to call them my facts. They're just facts. Whatever. And sometimes if you have pieces of facts and stuff, you might not have the story straight until you have the other facts that are required. So of course you might have that pieces of facts. You'll believe something, and then you kind of say, hey, this is my belief on this topic or whatever, and then somebody will come in from the side, pick a side, and they'll say, hey, did you know about this fact, that fact, that fact? And you look at those facts and you find out that the facts that they're giving you are truthful, and it might actually change your opinion. You might go, oh, okay, I didn't know that. I try to be that way. I try to be a person, like I said, trying to be open-minded and such, that I try to collect as much facts as I can. I form my opinion and I might post it or proclaim it or whatever and such, and if somebody else has other facts that might alter or sway that opinion and such, I'm open to it. I'll turn around and say, hey, you know what? That changes the whole story now. Now it's an entirely different thing. And then I'll recant what I said. I'll say, hey, I had it wrong because I didn't know, but now that I have this new information, my opinions change. I think a lot of people would believe that that's what they want to try to do too. To be honest with you, I do believe in the better of people and such. I have a self-proclaimed strange, we'll say, condition. I give people the benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, I have trust issues. It's not something easy to live with and stuff, but I do the best I can. With that said, so what ends up happening in such is that, yeah, sometimes I will post, getting to the story here, what had occurred. I had, you know what? I'm gonna just show you. So I ended up posting something satirical, and it kind of, here it is. You say it's Kamala Harris and clown face, and basically it's changing the clown won't change the circus. And my opinion is that how the Biden Harris administration has been for the last 3.5, almost 4 years now and stuff. It's been a joke. Their foreign policy has been horrible. How they've handled the economy, I can't see how anybody can turn around and say they've done a good job. I don't care what side you're on. I don't care if you're a D, an R, or an independent, unclaimed, whatever. Everybody has to be feeling the pain. Yeah, maybe the rich aren't feeling the pain as much as poor people, but you're feeling the pain. And the thing is that, yeah, sorry to say, the less money you have, the more you're going to feel it, and you're going to feel it the longest. That's just a fact of it, the economics. So I ended up posting this, and just so that you know, there are some blacking out that I did. I did some redacting of my own and stuff because I don't want, to have other people's names out there. It's not about who I was discussing. This is more about being in these types of situations. I've been in them before. I've been in them during the Trump administration. So I'm going to openly admit, yes, I'm active when it comes to the political side of it, and there are, issues and such. Again, maybe some of the people that are viewing this video and such have had, an interaction back and forth with me on a posting or whatever and such, whether you agree with it or don't. That, yes, I do become involved, but it's not, I try not to get into a shouting match in a sense. But the thing is to be honest with you, with this type of posting and such, again, it is viewing, kind of letting it know, I do not like Kamala Harris. I do not think, and it's not personal, it's a thing of, I don't think that she's going to be a good thing for this country. And the reason is because Biden was not a good thing for this country. I don't know. Like I said, economics, foreign policy, the border, key things. They have been horrendous on it, and they have done nothing but hurt our country. To get more details and such, I'm sure I'm going to do another video or 2 or 10 to kind of say. But for the purposes of this, I want you to understand and such that I am not an advocate of what I have seen being posted a lot over the last 8 to 10 years, which is it seems that people get the opinion of, if I post something and you don't agree with it, it isn't going to hurt you to just scroll by. You're right, it isn't. I can keep my opinion to myself. Everybody can keep their opinion to themselves. I understand having that point of view. However, here comes the but. The but is, if something is posted out there that is I strongly disagree with and stuff, or I know is a false or incorrect information, aka propaganda, the same way you have your first, your First Amendment rights to say and post whatever the hell you want. I have the same right and stuff to turn around and say I disagree, and P.S. and by the way, what you posted is false. It's wrong. I'm not telling people to take it down, but I want to make sure that disclaimer is there, because there may be someone else, a third party, that goes through your feed, my feed, whatever and such, and says and sees that exchange and turns around and goes, oh, really? Did he or she do that? And then they see my post and go, oh, apparently they didn't. And it's kind of a thing of, you don't want to perpetuate uh, false news. Yes, Trump calls it fake news. Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to really push, you know, propaganda out there because I am planning on doing a whole video and stuff on the difference, not for nothing and stuff, the difference on lying and hyperbole. I think there's been a lot of lying going on, and it hasn't been coming from Trump. Trump is big on hyperbole, but again, I'm going to save that for another episode. But for this purpose, again, if you could see this, okay, I hope you can. Yeah, it's not about so much about the content. I can read most of it to you, but as you see, that I've ended up posting this, and then someone who I knew from high school and such. I'm not going to give her name and such because I, redacted that also. But her and I kind of ended up in an exchange in a way that I usually have an exchange with somebody who posts something like this. If I post something like this, I usually can turn around and say, yeah, I'm posting and saying, Kamala Harris is a clown. And I can tell you, and even though that's kind of metaphorically a clown, I'll probably give you reasons and such why I think she's a clown, and it has nothing to do with her hairstyle, and it has nothing to do with the color of her eyes or the size of her nose, or whether her chin is too wide or too narrow. It has nothing to do with looks, and it really is nothing about personal in that manner. It truly is. It becomes a thing about policy because it is politics, and we have to remember it's not personal. It's politics and it's policy, at least to somebody like me. What does it damage the country, or does it make the country better and stronger? There's things that she's done, Biden has done. She was the border czar. Depends on who you talk to. It's either 11 million or 22 million at this point. Illegal aliens have crossed the border. I mean, she left the door open. You can't turn around and say, well, the door's open and such, and we want to process as many people as possible. That'll make it better. It doesn't. We'll get into that another time. So anyway, I posted this, and there was a reply from this, this woman and who like I said, I went to high school with her. I got along with her and such. I think I got along with most people. So she ended up replying and decided to put, yep. And she ends up posting, elect a clown, expect a circus. And of course, it's my guy. All right. So she ended up putting that up. And I immediately responded back, and why are people voting for Harris? She wanted to post, I took it as, yeah, I posted something to say Harris is a clown. She posts something that says Trump's a clown. I'm now going to ask, give me a reason why people are, voting for Harris. Her reply that came back and stuff, it was like, she wants to explain why she posted what I posted. Why she posted what she posted, had to do with what I posted, which is, I was only commenting on your post showing Harris as a clown. In my humble opinion, she is not a clown. But Trump, again, in my humble opinion, has shown over and over that he has clown-like characteristics and behaviors. Now, I am a person of detail. That's a very general statement. I mean, I know I've clowned around. I'm sure people have called me a clown at times in my life. Everybody might have been, most people have probably been called a clown at some point in their life. But if you're going to go after something or somebody, that I either believe in or have faith in and favor, I was just looking for more detail than that. So I asked, okay, I guess from her opinion, she has the opinion that Trump is a clown. I was like, can you tell me why you think, my basic statement there was, can you tell me why you think he's a clown? And I would be happy, I put it there. I'll be more than happy to reciprocate my reasoning on Harris being a clown once you provided an answer. I leave it open to, what, let my guy have it. Because I'm trying to, I'm trying to keep it civil, and it did. It stayed civil for the most part. this entire thread. And the other reason is, to be honest with you and such, I don't understand what it is policy wise. I have an issue with it's because I hate him as an answer, because that doesn't help anything. I mean, if I was to say to anybody, do you like it that politicians lie? I don't think anybody likes. Everybody thinks a politician. If you're a politician, you lie, um, which kind of is true. Again, sometimes they get in that hyperbole. They get into the trying to finesse the language. Some people in politics are better at it than others. Some people are horrible. I don't think Trump is great at politically trying to finesse. My opinion of Trump and stuff is he's kind of says what's on his mind, and yes, it doesn't come out uh, in an elegant way, to say the least. But I think he is genuine, and I think that's what makes him the non-politician, which I feel a lot of people, post their throw a politician out, fire, throw them all out, all politicians. Lawyers are the same thing, like that's a general thing. So basically, again, I was kind of looking for that back and forth, because I'm telling you, right hand to God here, I have no idea why people voted for Biden based on policy and his 40, 50-year career as a politician. I have no idea why people would want to vote for Harris and think that the United States is going to come out at the other side of a 4-year term from her in better shape. I mean, we're not in better shape since Biden was elected. We are in worse than the world in general. I mean, I'm not trying to scare anybody, but we got a lot more problems going on now than we did during the Trump years, and there's a reason for that. If you're willing to look truthfully, honestly at it, I mean, you can't turn around. I'm not going to say the guy was perfect, but he knew what he was doing. And the reason why I say he knew what he was doing, because he was a businessman. And I'm being honest with you, way long, 20, maybe 30 years ago, I had been, over that period of time in my life, in my late 20s, 30s, and such. I was of the opinion and stuff is that what our country was missing was a businessman. To put this country, set it right. It was just, to me, becoming too populist and who was better looking kind of thing. It's like, but what can you do? And business is business, and to straighten out things of economic nature, and give me a businessman every time. I mean, they want the company to run, and they want the company to make money, and they want it to run strong and be around for a long time. I don't think anybody sets up a company unless they're a scammer, wants to set up a company and stuff just to build people out of their money and then run like hell. I mean, those guys are frauds, and they should go to jail. My biggest thing about Trump and stuff is, they kind of brush against it and stuff, but it's something that I always saw was, this guy could be playing golf every day, just voicing his opinion like he was, political opinion. He could be voicing his political opinion like he was doing for 30 or 40 years before he ever ran. He wasn't convicted or found of anything or accused of anything, racism, any of that stuff for 30 or 40 years, until he decided to put his foot into not a toe, a whole foot into the political pool. And I got a strong opinion on that. But the basic thing is that, again, I don't think he spoke politically well, but he does tell you what he's thinking and what he truly believes. And that's why it was kind of refreshing, in my opinion, and such, to turn around and say, this guy, he does care about the country. He's not making money off of this. If he was making money off of it, and there was some sort of fraud going on, folks, they have pretty much better. I don't have a better word for it. They put the Hubble telescope up his ass for a colonoscopy, and they truly were not able to find anything of substance. Note, I'm saying anything of substance. I'm not talking about the 34 felony things. If I get into that now and stuff, this video will be probably run for days. If you want to talk about some of the other things, I'll you know what? I'll make a note of it and I'll try to cover it on another video. But I'm just telling you, the stuff that they put him through, particularly I will say the whole fraud of the Russian. That whole Russia thing, it was despicable. And anybody that wants to sit there and go, oh no, that was still true and stuff, even after they came out and said, yeah, there was nothing there. I mean, they put him through 3.5 years, practically his entire term and such, to go through that. That was horrible for the country. That was horrible to do to anybody sitting in the office of the president. Anybody that sat in the Oval Office, if they had to go through that. That was terrible. And as Americans, I don't care what the hell your political affiliation is. You should be appalled by it. Nobody should have to go through that. Nobody. I wouldn't. I don't like Biden. I didn't like Obama. But I would have never have sat there and said, this is the right thing to do. Never. I'm telling you, I'm very, very, very sludge about that. It was absolutely terrible. It was all a lie. And if you do go and really look for it and such, honestly, you're going to find out. If you thought that Trump was in cahoots with the Russians and such, you're going to find out how wrong you are. All you had to do was listen or find the truth, and it's out there. It's out there. So, getting back to this back and forth chat and stuff. So, I asked for it, and the reply I had gotten was, with all due respect, if you need me to give you specific examples why Trump has shown himself to be a clown, seems so obvious to me, we can just agree to disagree. I don't feel like going down the rabbit hole. Now, I'm sorry to say, I'm somebody who believes that if you believe in something very strongly, you should be able to come up with some simple examples. And the thing is or genuine, this is it. Again, I'm not big on people turning around and saying, I don't like the way he parts his hair, or his eyes are too close to his nose or something. I mean, I'm not. I mean, particularly in the political arena and such, it becomes a thing of I look at policy and stuff. You know what? So-and-so's obnoxious, this, that, and the other thing. But you know what? The guy obviously knows what the hell he's doing. And I will give that credit. It's like, I don't have to like them. I mean, just like your boss. If your boss pays you well and the company's doing well, but he's an asshole beyond belief, I think you kind of swallow that he's an asshole because he's the boss and stuff, but you accept the fact and stuff that he's paying you well, and you're going to have a job for the next 20, 30 years. I mean, it's some of the things that we live with. I mean, we've had presidents and stuff that were terrible. I'll throw one out there. William Harding. Look him up, see what he did, read a book on him and such. He was the absolute... If you thought Biden was bad, or if you... Warren Harding was the worst of the worst. So you can guarantee that Biden will not be the absolute, last place. He will always be ranked the last president as who is good. He's last. He's ingrained there, unless we get somebody from here on out that's even worse. But as far as I'm concerned, so you understand and such that both sides have had goods, we've had bad. But the thing is and such is that Trump was not the horror show that the mainstream media made him out to be. He was not the terrible dictator that he wanted to become, that Pelosi and Schumer and all of the other Democratic morons, Schiff and those idiots. I mean, I'm sorry, they're idiots and stuff, because they couldn't back up anything that they were saying. Everything was opinion, but they were stating it as fact. And because they were in a position of power, they were they were making people believe it, and people still believe it today. And that's a terrible thing. I'm sure if you get past the personality and look at the substance of what Trump did for this country and stuff, for everybody, up and down the social scales, from the poorest and stuff, yeah, and to the richest, and everybody was doing better. Maybe not so much the rich, but the poor were doing it. The middle class was doing better. The country overall was doing better. So, if my response to the person I was engaged with, I ended up, kind of turning around and saying, you know what? Yeah, there it is. I put in my little JMHO, because, I'm just trying to let them know and stuff. I'm not speaking from a position of, what I say is more truth than what you have to say. This is my honest opinion. And I gave her basically, I called her basically a typical Democrat supporter, because a lot of them that I have come across and such want to sit there and go and kind of do what you go, oh, I don't want to get into how much of a jerk and, how terrible Trump is and stuff. And I'm asking for it, because I do want to understand, and it's the only way I can understand. If somebody can come and say, Harris has been an excellent, politician and stuff, and here's why, and provide me with some of those facts. I can provide facts, and I kind of did, because, I not only said, I said, she had a baseless claim and stuff of a rabbit hole. And to me, going down a rabbit hole and stuff is the never ending. Yeah, it could easily. You want to turn around and say, you know what? Trump has said some stupid fucking things, and he's put things in bad context verbally. Hey, I'm going to tell you. No, there's times that he's made my eyes water, because I've had to roll him so much. That there's a lot of things that he could have handled or said better. But his overall work, his body of work in what he's done for this country during his term was phenomenal. I mean, as low as inflation was then, that we're feeling it now, you really notice it. I mean, let's face it. The fact that he shut down, the border the way he did, those weren't thank you President Trump t-shirts that they were flooding across the southern border in. Those were President Biden, Mr. Biden shirts. They knew who invited them in. That wasn't coincidence. That was purposeful. And everybody was supposed to sit there, and we're supposed to sit there and take it. And that's not our country. That's not what our country should be. So anyway, I kind of turned around, and I was just basically, again, it's just I had gotten a lot of exchanges with Democrats and stuff, and it's like I asked for the why when they support their party candidate, and be honest, all you have is I hate Trump as a reason, because that just seems like what was happening from her reply. It was just like I'm used to it. I've had people answer that way too. Oh, I don't want to get into it right now. There's the list. It's just too long, and all I asked for. Give me some examples. Give me something. I'm trying to understand. I'm not asking to be swayed, but I truly want to know why people believe that the job that Harris would do is going to be better than what Trump already did. Policy, actual things that he's going to do. I mean, not this Project 2025 crap. That's not his. Yes, it was done by a bunch of people who came out of his administration who no longer work with him or work for him. Listen, that's a wish list, folks. He doesn't have to go with that, and that's he said he didn't read it, and I believe it, because some of the things that he has said, particularly like about abortion, does not line up with what's in Project 2025. And I actually have the PDF of the whole entire document, that whole entire Project 2025, because I have come across people that had said, oh, Project 2025 is going to do this. That's Trump's plan. And then I do a search on it and I go, you know what? There nowhere in 2025 does it say that. And I've done it a couple of times. So, I mean, you may end up finding a few posts, several posts and stuff that I had to do that people were throwing up things claiming Project 2025 was Trump's plan for America, and it wasn't. And the things that they said they were going to do if Trump gets in wasn't even in the wish list of Project 2025. It's not policy. It's not law. It's not anything. Trump can use it as a booster for his grandkids on a chair, like we used to do with the phone books years ago. I mean, but I basically had to I didn't want to sit there and do an excessively long post. But what you see there and stuff, I put in some links on some things and stuff, and we're talking about PolitiFact. Those are several things that, like, Kamala Harris, what she believes in, and things that she lied about. And this is a reason why I find that she's a clown. And that's basically what I was saying. So you see, I kind of, I kind of had to turn around and say, as far as I can see right now, I said the Democratic Party is a joke. And for you Democrats out there, believe me when I'm telling you and stuff. I'm not saying this from a place of hate, because it's your party. You got to do a better job. You got to get control of your party again. If you like the way the party is right now and such, I'm going to disagree with you from now until doomsday. But my feeling is and stuff is you guys got to get control of your party again. You got to go find your FDR. You got to go find your John F. Kennedy. You got to get better substance people. I mean, in your party right now, who's running your party and stuff are lunatics. And I'm saying that figuratively. I don't think literally they're lunatics. I just think what they're doing to this country and stuff is not the good thing for this country. Letting illegal immigration to consume our country and to, quite honestly, dilute our voter base is obscene. And if you're sitting there going, yeah, sure, it's thinning out the Republicans. If you think that it's just going to be Republicans, or it's just going to be libertarians or the independents or whatever, you're sadly mistaken. The Democratic Party, if you're a moderate, or you feel that you are a moderate Democrat, they're replacing you, because the more they keep pushing this envelope, you're going to get in the way. I mean, Sinema, Manson, Manson. I might have pronounced his name wrong. I apologize. Do you understand why people have been Tulsi Gabbard? I like her, and she was a Democrat, but she got out. Why are so many Democrat people getting away from the Democrats and going, listen, I'd rather be an independent? Tulsi Gabbard did not become a Republican. Senator Manson did not become, Senator Sinema did not become a Republican. They got out of the Democratic Party because they said, this isn't my Democratic Party. There's something wrong with your Democratic Party out there. And because it's you and it's we the people, you got to get control of your party again. You have to get, you're together. You got to get a huddle and stuff. And like I said, you got to go find your Democrat. I mean, for God's sakes, Jimmy Carter turned 100 this week. Jimmy Carter was not a very good president, but I'll tell you, I always respected him because his heart was absolutely in the right place. To be honest with you, I think Jimmy Carter would have been great as a cabinet member. I don't think he did a good job as a president. He was not good. He was almost too good-hearted to be president, in a sense. I don't know how else to explain it and such. I mean, particularly, just look what he did with Habitat for Humanity, him and his wife. I still have respect for them. I have no respect for anybody in the Democratic Party right now. The people that are leaving the Democratic Party, I have a lot of respect for, because they're even turning around and saying, that ain't where we're supposed to be. That isn't what I signed up for. And they're getting out. They're removing themselves from that party. And they want the Democratic Party of what it should, and it always was. And it's not business as usual stuff. And again, I've said it on several other occasions and such. The swamp is purple. I don't think that the swamp is all Democrats. There's Republicans too. That's how come I say it's purple. To be honest with you, the whole political system and such has gotten out of control. However, I see there's people still within the Republican Party and such that are still solidly aligned with my beliefs. I don't have to agree with them all the time. I agree with them most of the time. I don't 100% back everything. I might 90% back what they have. Some things I don't. I mean, but I can't say what the Democratic Party has turned into and is doing is a thing that really would make, I don't know how it's making people and stuff go, wow, this is where we want the country to go. Because we're headed into a very, very bad place. I mean, it's terrible. So, getting back to this, I kind of gave these examples and such, and yes, I was one. This post right here, this notice that Biden supporters never post anything pro-Biden. It's all just anti-Trump. Yeah, take a good look out there, folks. He's an idiot. He's a moron. Oh, orange man bad. All that other crap that I, basically said. And I said, cross out Biden and put in Harris. It hasn't changed. The Democratic Party has not changed. They're basically, the end of democracy. And it's like, no. Because if it was going to be the end of democracy, folks, come on. Trump would have done it in his first term, and he didn't. So, again. So she ended up replying and turning around and saying, don't get personal. I was just trying to end the conversation. In the words of your clown president, you are fired. Oh, and keep your animals safe. Now, the animals safe thing, of course, has to do with the story about the Haitians eating cats and dogs and stuff in Ohio and stuff. I get it, but right there, which is my next reply in this thread and stuff, was basically, thank you for proving my point. That's exactly what, there was no conversation. She provided no information. I asked for information. Tell me why you feel that Harris is the one for you and why people should vote for her. Give me something. Give me something that I might be able to agree with. Turn around and say, yeah, okay, well, she did this all right. But anybody I've tried to interact with that said that they are a Harris supporter and such are like, oh, why can't you just, scroll past? And it's like, because you're putting it out there and other people go, oh, I guess I'll vote for Harris. Look at the great things she's doing. And I'm turning around and saying, no, she hasn't done great things. She really hasn't. So I ended up saying, thank you for proving my point. And she sends me back this little link and stuff for an Amazon book. And down here, the product details and such. It's a 48-page pamphlet. And I wouldn't even call it a freaking book. But it's like, it's a compilation done by some author and such, of Trump quotes. And it's like, okay, so his quotes is what makes him a clown. The key thing to all of this and stuff is what I saw down here, which is the bestsellers rank. And, I mean, this book is like, nobody's heard of it. I mean, it's been out for 2 years. And it was like, this is the argument she came back to me with. And I was kind of going like, I was trying to have an honest exchange of political idea here. I gave, examples. If she would have taken the time to read some of this, even a couple of these or anything, like maybe I would have gotten better response. But she went the route of, you guys are clown, and look, this author and stuff wrote a 48-page book and stuff on his stupid quotes, and it's like, okay, that's and that's how America was born. No, Sorry, you're going to get my big head. I'm going to drop that for now. So it is, if you're going into your voting uh, place on election day, you're getting ready to put in your vote, and who you're voting for is based on that type of information that I was just showing that she had, and going to, if you got to love the country more. I don't know how else to put it, folks. I mean, you have to love this country more than wanting to just spew barbs, and it has to, you got to love it more than this. I mean, our founding fathers loved this country and was willing to sacrifice everything, including their lives. If you don't believe that, pick up a book and read it. I mean, for God's sakes. FDR, I mean, Abraham Lincoln. Look what he knew he had to go through, in a sense. The country, he did everything he could to keep the Union together. If we didn't survive the Civil War, I mean, can you imagine? We're not the country we are today. FDR getting us through World War II, even though there was all of that, isolationism and stuff. And it's like, oh, it has nothing to do with us. FDR, no. He knew the next step, if Hitler and Japan were successful and stuff, the next step was going to be us. I mean, you gotta stop listening to the bullshit out there. And quite honestly, I mean, that's like I said, I'll watch Fox News and then I'll flip over to CNN and I say, okay, what's CNN talking about? To see if they're coming at a particular topic and such from the same angle, if they're giving a different point of view. Are they just coming out with propaganda? I mean, it just becomes that kind of thing. And I'll go out to different websites and I'll read, and yes, I'm trying to find, out on social media, whether it's X or Facebook. I do, try to jump on threads or at least read the threads and stuff. What's the exchange going on? Because I'm trying to understand the thought process of, pro-Republican or pro-Democrat. And it's like, I need to understand it. I need to understand it, because where we're headed, I mean, where we're headed and stuff, I mean, everybody's got to get their faces out of their phones and stuff and think that the next brilliant idea is going to come in 240 characters on Twitter. It's not going to happen. It isn't. I mean, it's a good communication tool, but it's not something to live by. It's not that I'm, against those things and such. If it's going to start dialogue, okay. If it's going to start fights and stuff, it's not worth it. And that's how come, I showed you that thread. I've had several threads over the years and stuff that ended up being that way. Somebody was either questioning something I put, or I questioned something somebody else put. And yeah, it kind of seemed that, I ended up in the same place with, same type of person and stuff. Oh, I don't want to make a whole list. And it's like, look, if you don't want to answer questions, don't post something that's it's not, that's my truth. There is the truth, and I am a firm believer in that. You can have your opinion, it's a belly button. Everybody's got one, and I don't want to call it, an asshole, but everybody's got an asshole too, and everybody stinks. So that's why I just go with the belly button one. Everybody's got a belly button, so at least I think so. If anybody wants to correct me, please do. It's okay to have that opinion. You can, but have as strong an opinion as you can, because that's going to be, that's coming from your foundation and building up your beliefs. And if you have kids or you're a coach or you're a teacher or something, you want to give them solid, factual truths. You don't want to, I'm gonna do a whole episode on the truths and all of that and such. I'm kind of working on that one. I'm wordsmithing a little more. to try to get through to folks. But you know, I guess overall and such, you know, the punchline to this video is if you want to vote for Harris, do whatever the hell you want. I hope that you're doing it out of love of country, not because you hate the other guy, because you don't like how he talks. Please, just let it have substance. And if you could, help me out, help me understand, because I'm telling you right now, my stomach is going to be in knots if Harris wins right now and stuff, because I can't see one damn thing good coming out of a Harris-Walz administration, particularly after the Biden-Harris administration has been so awful. If you think that the Biden-Harris administration, you might want to, it was a good thing, you might want to start there and explain it to me. I'm open. I want to have that exchange with you, believe me. And if you want to, you know, in that conversation, we can, you know, that going back and forth dialogue, you know, maybe a podcast will end up developing out of it, and I'll be able to talk with you with, you know, real time, and other people can watch us, have that exchange and stuff, because I really do. It's a great country. Let's face it. If we were that terrible and we were as terrible as people were trying to make out, and I'm going to have to go to the Obamas saying how, you know, particularly Michelle Obama turning around and saying, you know, oh, how terrible this country has become. Why are so many people trying to get to it? Why are they leaving their country to come here? If their country, even with its flaws, was still not as bad as they were making America out to be, the United States was being as terrible, so why aren't they fixing their country? Saying, Jesus, we better get on our country and stuff and fix this and stuff, because we don't want to become, you know, the United States. Come on, folks. Let's be serious about it. Everybody wants to come here. There's countries and stuff that they're native people and stuff are turning around and saying, we like our country exactly. America, you can be whatever the hell you want. We like our country the way it is. And there are countries out there like that. You know, an example always is, you know, hey, what about Finland? It's like, yeah, okay, so the Finlandian people like their country the way it is. There's nothing wrong with that. But there are a hell of a lot of countries and such that people are getting the hell out of and coming here. They're not just coming from South America across our southern border. I mean, if you think that it's just, you know, coming from Mexico and it's just coming from everything between Mexico and Venezuela, you're wrong. They're coming from China, Korea. They're coming from Haiti. They're coming from Cuba. They're coming from Africa. They're coming from the Middle East. That's not a coincidence, folks. That's not a coincidence. They're coming here for a reason. And I'm not going to sit here and say all immigrants are, because that's how it gets played out. You know, people trying to make it up. It's like, that's not what I'm saying. I don't think that's what anybody's saying and stuff. It's not about immigration. And I know they're very, very careful on how they say, oh, the Republicans, the conservatives, the MAGA people are all against immigration. No, we're not. And we're not. I'm not. They're not. It's illegal immigration. You wouldn't want somebody to just walk into your house and start living there. Our country is our house, and you have to look at it in that concept. If we're just allowing people to walk in our house and put their feet on the fucking furniture, and pardon my language, man, but that's what it's come down to. That's what we're doing. One of the more, I would have to say, one of the things that upset me and such, and I'm not going to get into too much detail. I know I've been, you know, on this for a while, and I'm going to be closing out this video soon. But one of the things that upset me was the point brought up that, you know, I read and I saw it on the news, and it was like a repeat thing. The people, particularly in North Carolina and Georgia and such, getting $750 after going through that hurricane and being in the disaster area that they are. And that right now is the best we can do. Why didn't the administration prepare better? Why are those people been suffering for now over a week, but only $750, and FEMA doesn't have money. Go look it up. FEMA apparently is saying they're not going to have money for the next hurricane that hits. But we're doling out money for illegal people to come across our border. Like it's going out of style. Free hotel rooms, free meals, free school, free health care. Here's a $5,000 gift card. That's literally going on, folks. It is going on. It's not, oh, that's just, they're just saying that. That's what's happening. If we have an illegal immigrant, one, in any hotel room in the United States and stuff, that's one too many. And I'm not saying that because I'm a bigot or a racist and stuff. You know why it's one too many? Because we have veterans who defended this country and stuff on the streets. If we have, until the last veteran is housed, then you want to put an illegal immigrant in a hotel? Be my guest. Be my guest. Until the people who went through the immigration process the right way, the last one is done. You want to start letting illegals in here and stuff and just wherever the hell they want to go? Be my guest. Because in a sense, I know, the worst you can tell me right now and stuff is, life isn't fair. Oh, really? It isn't fair for the veterans? The veterans should be treated and stay homeless, and people who went through the proper channels to try to come into this country to make something out of themselves and to contribute to this country and stuff should be bypassed, should be overstepped by illegal immigrants? If you feel that way, wow, I'm sorry to say, and this is my honest opinion, there's something wrong with you. And if you think that there's nothing wrong with you thinking like that, please let me know. Because I'll tell you this, from what I can see and stuff, there are people that are sitting there going, oh yes, but every illegal immigrant and stuff deserves to be in this country. I think my next video and stuff, I'm going to get into the whole numbers thing that they had gotten into regarding how many rapists and murderers came over the border, the numbers that came out from the border patrol. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that in my next video and such. So come back for episode 11 and such, because I really think that's interesting and stuff, particularly with the fact that the Department of Homeland Security and stuff wanted to dispute those numbers. It's going to be interesting. So I appreciate you listening. I guess I kind of hope I offended somebody, because I want to hear what I'm missing, in a sense. That's what I'm looking for. You kind of give me some feedback. Give me some comments. Send me an email so that maybe I'll do a follow-up video on this and such. But, if you're a pro-Trump and you have other examples and stuff of why you feel Trump is either the best candidate or why Harris is the not good candidate, I want to hear your opinion too. If you happen to be a Harris supporter, tell me of substance and stuff why Trump is not a good president, going to be a good president, but Harris is going to be. I'm telling you with true sincerity. I'm trying to understand. I'm not trying to mock. I'm not trying to make you guys join the dark side. Join the dark side. We got cookies, but it's not that kind of thing. I want to understand it. Maybe you'll be able to convert me. Maybe I'll be able to get you to see things a little differently too. I think as American citizens, it's our job to keep our politicians in check. We used to have the media, newspapers, television news and stuff doing that job for us and stuff. They were our sword in a sense, because they were the ones with the shovels and stuff to go digging when they saw something wrong. They lost their way. So all we got is us at this point, and we can just do the best we can and share the information, I guess, amongst ourselves. It does get to be exhausting. Not everybody can do it and such, but you should at least help and contribute. Again, shouldn't make a difference what political party you come from or what your views are and such. You should get the truth out there. You should help get the truth out there, because there are an awful lot of people and such who are just, picking up bits and bytes and little tidbits or headlines or whatever and thinking that's the whole story, and it isn't. Help them see what the real truth is. And I'm asking you, if Harris is the better choice and she is the truth, tell me. Let me know. I really want to know. So, all right. So, I'm going to put it up again because I'm going to ask yous, practically been begging yous. I'm going to end up posting again that, you can find this video and all my previous videos and all my future videos out on Rumble. That's where I'm trying to get monetized, and I'm trying to get enough followers. It's important you follow on Rumble. Just viewing, like I said, my viewing count and stuff has been clicking away, and it looks awesome and stuff, but without the followers and stuff, I don't have as much control over my content as I would like. Starting with that URL, I really would like to, customize it more. So please do me a favor. Please join Rumble and just follow me. And if I'm the only guy you want to follow and stuff, that's cool too. And share. Please make sure you share that channel link anywhere you can. Some people, I'll even tell you and stuff, if you want to send it to somebody to laugh at me, go ahead. You know what? But at least be constructive about it. Tell me what you like and don't like. Overall, if you got more to say to me and such, or you have an idea, something on your mind that maybe I triggered on you, that, hey, you know what, Mike, he reminded me of, and you want to tell me, please send me an email. I really want to hear from you. Feedback is always good, no matter what shape or form it comes in, whether it's good or bad. It's only going to help me make these videos better, and it's going to help me make sure that, I am getting through to somebody out there. Whether I'm right or wrong, let me know if I'm wrong. Help educate me. I'm trying to help, people reason and understand better and such. And you know what? Maybe you'll be able to do the same for me. So you can email me at mjcgemini@verizon.net. And please make sure you put JMHO in your subject so that my mailbox filter can do its job. I mean, I did make it and such because I don't want to miss anybody's email. I do get a lot of emails for a lot of other things. I mean, that's a personal email thing. So I definitely want to make sure that that if you take the time to write to me, I want to make sure that I don't miss it and I give you the time and stuff to at least respond. And, like I said, maybe you can help contribute topics or such that I can do a video on or answer some questions. All right. Again, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate you tuning in. Look forward to the next video out to you. And again, my name is Michael Caraccio. And remember, this was all just my honest opinion. Have a great one, folks. Talk to you soon.